And we're live. This is Lit Literature, and you're here with the Shoutouts. This is your host, the Demon, a.k.a. JP, or JP, a.k.a. the Demon. I change it every time, and I don't know why. Probably because I'm drunk. And from, I don't know where, but we have
Where you at, Captain?
The Captain! This time, I'm just in Phoenix, Arizona. Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
Aw, boring.
So, I totally thought you might be in a medic tent. Trying to, I don't know, bond a sprint or something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Trying not to, maybe?
That would be...
That
would be
tumbleweed
good.
spren.
I wish
We also
I was.
have
But
Cherry, Josh.
All right.
Yeah, Ben the Hitman coming live on part 4 of 100.
Brett, the director.
Aim the dream.
So eamy and dreamy.
And dreamy.
so dreamy.
Thank you. All right. We got to talk about a few people real quick. It's going to be a short one. It's an add-on to episode 23, part 3. This is episode 23, part 4. And that's because I can count.
We are
I feel like we're living inside of Jeff's
reconciling
text right now.
on 2 Brett bets.
We are.
Gentlemen, we're
let's see what these
completing 2
Brett bets.
Brett bets.
All right, Captain's got
Let's do
2
it.
Brett bets
Let's
on
do
the
it.
line.
One of them is a one-parter, which is answered in this last segment of the story.
All right.
The Brett bet is who will Shallan end up with?
I don't think that it's over yet.
Yes.
I
got
have to disagree with that.
I think I did not get it.
Well, we could call the Brett bet now, or we
I'm
could...
calling it.
I think it was
All right,
a call.
Here's what I
I
say.
think I want to call it as well, Josh. I want to call it as
S3.
well.
I
I think you guys are in an echo chamber.
I say that we call it, but if we are wrong by the end of the series, we have to double duty.
But
All right.
if you're wrong
Agreed.
because
Agreed.
Adeline dies, I think
Agreed.
you don't have to take the penalty.
I agree.
Josh,
I agree with
Josh,
that fact.
do you Brett?
Bad.
Do you
She's
second
already
that?
married him, bro.
No.
Come on.
No.
She's marrying him. If he dies and she...
If Adolin dies, it's because Shallan killed him.
dirty.
All right, if that happens, then it's okay. But
I was
right.
kidding. No. No.
All right.
Calendars come in and soup up the pieces.
I think the choice was made, and they're cool with it. They're cool with
They're
it.
cool with it.
So I'm going to say that we close it. If things change and the results make sense, those of us who won need to take double.
I'm okay with that. Yep,
This,
I'm
I don't
okay
know.
with that.
This is the thing, though. This is another one of those bets where there's a lot of room for gray area.
There is.
And I know we
There
all
is.
have different theories on what that gray area might become, but there is a possibility that Shallan legitimately splits off into visions. And if one of those visions, or illusions, actually ends up being with Kaladin.
But that's an illusion, not
Okay.
Shallan.
But I feel
Not-
that's a
Brett-
win-win.
yeah, Brett, this is the thing, though.
I say let's collect on this bet now, and if you're correct, if later
Does that count?
there's
Does that
some
count?
payback on that,
If any of
I
her
will gladly
illusions
take
end
that.
up with Kaladin,
No,
does
not
that
if any
count?
of her illusions. If any of Shallan.
Yeah, her.
No,
her is
illusions
Shallan.
are not her.
We're
Yes,
wasting
they
too
are.
much time
Yeah.
on this. Let's just say that we're collecting on the bet, but if any of the illusions
illusions.
then
Alright.
and like they go and Adolin's cool with
If any of her alter
then
egos
it's fine.
end up with Kaladin,
Agreed.
Like,
even if
permanently.
she's with Adeline,
Permanently.
Not like a
Agreed.
little
even if
snuggle.
she's
Yes.
with
a little
Yes.
snuggle.
No. If
What's
they end
that?
up with
Ahead
him.
of the storm,
Yeah,
father.
okay, I agree with that.
if they end up with him
I
permanently,
believe it's not going to happen. No.
right.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
If Shallan, if the whole being ends up going with Kaladin, you guys have to do double. If
Alright.
any of her illusions or alter egos end up with Kaladin,
Then we do
you have to
drink.
do single.
Okay, I'm down.
Agreed. I'm down. I'm down. Agreed.
Alright, who
So,
bet what?
what were the bets on that,
All right.
Captain?
The Brett bet was who will Shallan end up with?
I hope this
And
wasn't my bet, because then I have
Adolin.
to follow somebody around like a spren.
Shallan will end up with Adolin. The only people who said yes were me and Josh. Yes, Josh.
Now you
Yeah,
know we should
baby.
be arguing so
All
well.
right.
I knew I bet that.
What about
No,
Alright.
you did not
And
say that.
Shallan ending up with Kaladin, Brett,
Was-
Manny, Jeff, and
Jeff.
Ben.
not me?
You the
Before
entire
I go.
time were saying that that
Yeah.
she was gonna try.
I've been editing this shit forever.
No.
All
That's
I've
what I
said
wrote
is
down,
Adolin.
baby.
You wrote it wrong.
You kept saying Kaladin.
You want to
You
bet?
said Kaladin
Why
every
did you
time.
listen
No,
to
he
the
kept on
episode?
saying Adolin.
No,
Jeff kept on
Adolin.
saying Adolin.
Adolin. Jeff said Adolin.
No.
I've been
Jeff
Adolin
definitely
forever,
said
bro.
Adolin.
Him.
I'm Adolin, dude. I'm rooting for Adolin.
No, Jeff definitely said
cool.
Kaladin.
Jeff is Adolin.
He
How would
is.
he not bet
Jeff
on Adolin?
Jeff is
Jeff doesn't like
Adolin, but
redheads.
I recorded it that me and Josh were the only
true.
ones who
But
said
that's-
Adolin.
But in the
and
story,
everyone
he
else
does.
voted for Shallan and
Yeah.
Kaladin.
I didn't know that. I thought Jeff was
Here's what.
Adolin.
Here's what.
I thought
If that
only-
comes
No,
out,
Jeff did say Adolin.
I'm telling you, I did. I edited it, but I'm telling
He
you.
called the captain a liar.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's called Captain a liar.
I think that he.
It doesn't matter. We'll look at it later. Let's
We'll
relax.
check
look
it
at it
out,
later.
and I'll tell
We'll
you what.
check it
I'll
out.
take the shot if that's the case.
Check out Lyket.net. Look for
I will. I'll
Jeff
take it.
doing a
Literature.
shot.
And
And check out the Brett Beck.
Jeff's trying to get
section.
out of a shot.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Jeff's trying to get out of a shot. So, anyways, during this fight,
Lyket.net.
Lyket. All right. Anyway, you're right, Manny. During this fight, so we talk lift. We gotta talk Teft. We gotta talk Teft real quick. He comes out of his drug.
he doesn't come out of it. He's still in it.
He's still.
He just...
He's
my
taking
wrong.
a vacation from the Fire Moss.
Yeah.
All right.
He bonded though. He
Can-
bonded officially.
But can
he
we
became
say?
a Radiant.
Can we say one thing? Like,
Yeah.
I felt so bad for Teft
Yeah.
because
Yeah, baby.
He nearly killed Rock.
he nearly killed a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it
he
was
realized
his,
it.
It
too.
was his uniform, and he was sitting there
Yep.
knowing it was his uniform. I don't know if he
Yeah.
eventually came out and said and admitted it, but
They all know.
Oh, he
They
did.
all know.
Everybody
Well, he's like,
do.
it's my fault.
Well, everyone knew he lost his coat because that was a big thing. Like last
But I
time,
feel
like
like-
you sold your coat.
Yeah,
But I
and
feel like
Lupin
everybody
looked
was
at
all
him,
right,
was like,
just like they were when they
wow.
found out, right?
Yeah, they were all right.
I mean, I have to. I personally, even though Teft might be harder on himself, I have to believe that if you know that he sold his coat, and you were like, you know, Teft, don't worry about it. We're gonna, get through this. I mean, you're complicit.
Well,
that's
here-
part of you too. That's on you as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So
you have to know
Well, I
that
think
the
Bridge
code
4
is
is
out there.
gonna back him.
Bridge 4 is gonna back him.
That's a fact.
I love that about Bridge
They will.
4.
Yeah,
Uh,
they backed him. They didn't. They understood that he was going through a lot of trouble, and they didn't abandon him
Yeah.
because that's
Yes.
what he always did.
Yeah.
Like his family, even though
He
I kind of think
abandoned.
that's right. Like he betrayed his family because they were doing those racked experiments.
We'll do so.
I do have to say though that I think it's a little weird. I'm not saying that it's not understandable. I think it's understandable, but I think it's a little weird that Kaladin is very accepting of Teft's shortcomings. This is something that you were born with. This is something that you grew up with. This is a weakness in your
He doesn't
personality.
say born with, but he does say weakness.
Something.
and he
Well,
says
yeah, something.
It's only gonna get harder.
Yeah, I guess I guess I'm projecting our world
Yeah.
into it. A lot of times people
But-
are born with certain,
So what do you say?
I think it's funny that he's so accepting of this, but yet he's still so racist against
He's
against
getting
Lyket.
better.
Yeah.
He's getting better. He's
but
getting better. He is.
Yeah.
but
He's
he's
getting
still
better.
it's still there a little.
So,
I was
real-
a lot of
real-
that in this past.
Real
You know,
quick.
that's-
I
true,
think
that's
I
true,
think
that's
Teft's
true.
got a shortcut to approval from Kaladin because
Because he
Teft
was
reminds
always-
him so much of Dallet. Like they're kind of the same character.
Yeah.
And I think that because they're so similar, Kaladin gives Teft a little bit of special consideration.
I
mean-
just assumed that it was because he was Bridge 4.
Nah, keep in mind. Teft,
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Well,
Keep in
that-
mind, though. Keep
he
in
was,
mind.
one
Teft.
of the only people who was military trained, and he found a connection because of that.
It's more than that, though. Keep in mind that Teft was the second person to bond a Spren. Like,
That-
there's
yeah,
more to
that's true.
Teft than what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
not just that he has that weakness, but remember, his version of Kaladin's Oath was, I protect people even if I hate them, even if the
it's
person I
myself.
hate the most is myself. Whereas if Kaladin had a different version of that oath, but all
Even
the
if they're
same,
lighters.
yeah, all the same, Teft is clearly it's almost like the more troubled you are, the easier it is for you to bond a Spren minus
Spren.
Lopin. But if you're a Windrunner, but Teft has his problems, but it's for them it seems to be more about them overcoming that weakness.
Whatever the hatred is, like for Kaladin, it was light eyes.
It is,
For
yeah.
Teft, it's himself.
It is
And
himself.
so
Yeah.
for other light eye Windrunners,
Except for Lopin. Lopin's just a badass.
Yeah,
Straight
but
up.
even then, Teft never. He even kind of acknowledges the need. This didn't cure me. The need to do the fire moss is still there. So he still has that. I don't think he ever actually accepted himself. He maybe took a step towards
he took a step towards it.
He took a step towards it.
Well, I can definitely say, like, in our world anyway, like, addiction is definitely something that you can be genetically born with. And it's something that was definitely genetically put into my family. And it's something that you always fight.
And you keep in your mind.
But that doesn't mean that you are that. It just means that you are constantly dealing with that. Just like if you're a woman, you're constantly dealing with being a woman.
That's what all disease.
Or if you're Manny, you're constantly dealing with being a Manny.
Being a Manny. If you're short, you're constantly dealing with.
First of all, being a Manny is not a disease.
You know, it's like you're always constantly dealing with the circumstances of your situation.
We gotta move.
But
We
you
gotta
deal
move.
with it.
We got Tef. We gotta talk rock real quick.
Oh my god.
All right? Because before we get to Kaladin and the cap, Rock saved Kaladin's life at the end of his glorious battle, and he did so breaking his own oath in a way.
But even before that, Rock was on the verge of dying.
He was.
And he came in, and they're hoping to find Renan to heal him, and the other two.
But Kaladin's arrival allowed him to
once he got to
Stormlight.
the city, he was able to absorb Stormlight, and he healed. And he pretty much, it's Kaladin's that I'm alive because he saved me. I came here and was able
Not
to
only that, he
save
also
Stormlight.
saved his family.
Yeah. And so once he went looking for Kaladin and he found him, and he was able to save him, but doing that, he had to become a warrior to do it.
So there's actually a hidden thing that I want to talk to you guys about. So if he's a squire in a Windrunners, he technically broke his oath.
Is he a squire?
He broke his
He was
oath.
Yeah,
able to pull that
technically,
bow.
yeah.
Jeff.
And so what's that?
He was able to pull the bow. And Stormlight does not grant strength. It grants endurance.
Yes.
Endurance.
And that stone bow, shard bow.
So there's a lot of questions about that. However, I do want to say, if he was a squire as a Windrunner, would he have broken an oath to himself because of his own mindset in his setting?
I don't think it's an oath so much as his
third son, first son, second son, third son, fourth son.
Yeah,
in their
well,
mind,
I
I
think it's
don't
an
know
oath.
if that's
I
an
think it's
oath.
his
I think that might be a social construct.
social construct.
it is. But in his mind, if it's an oath, it is.
I don't think it is an oath, though.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
it's
wouldn't
something
say
that he
no,
swore.
I agree.
I think it's something that other people swore.
I don't want to
that
argue
he's
about it.
abiding by.
I'm throwing it out there. If in his mind it is an oath,
I don't
it will
think it,
impact.
I don't think.
If it's not, but I'm saying that I don't think that he's going to be a Windrunner squire. Is what I'm hinting at. I'm hinting at that he's further along than you think, and he might be something else all entirely.
I think
I
he
might
is.
be. I agree.
Father than Squire, but I don't think it was an oath to himself about being the fourth son or third son.
I got you.
I think that's his heritage, and that's like super
The Horn Eater.
ingrained
Yeah,
into
the
him.
Horn Eater in him.
But I think not so much. I don't know about the magical, bindings of this world, but I think when it comes to what affects you, I do believe that his oaths to his tradition can also be just as binding sometimes.
It may be.
Even if it's not physically binding.
That's the argument I'm throwing out. We don't have the answer yet, and I'm not making a Brett bet, but I wanted to throw it out. So then the last thing we got to talk about, at least one of the last things before we talk about more things, but before we get to Kaladin and Amaran, because that's going to be a good chunk, what I want to talk about is wit. And wit.
Yes.
Well, should we save Wit for last, Jeff? Because he has the epilogue.
I think we did save him for last.
What about we haven't talked Kaladin? We haven't talked Kaladin, Amaran, or Dalinar. We don't even know what
We
happens
talked
with Dalinar.
Dalinar a ton. Like he's good, man. We talked.
We
him.
did.
He's-
We talked
Dalinar
Dalinar
had
a
a
ton.
big role to play, but
Do
it's
we want to
also
save
not
Wit for last,
the
Jeff?
All right.
Impactful.
Let's go Kaladin. Kaladin
Yeah,
finally
we'll go with
gets
Kaladin.
his against Amaran, and it's a glory battle. He's protecting Dalinar while Dalinar's going through his shit with Odium.
Okay, I have to make a little
Do it.
Go ahead.
admittance
Go ahead,
here.
Brett.
I don't know. I don't remember how that whole battle ended up.
Rock
killed
with the arrow.
Amaran.
Amaran with the arrow.
Yeah,
So Rock finished
Rock
that
picked
game.
up the shard bow.
So
Okay, so Kaladin had an opening. He broke the chest plate.
Yeah, he broke
and
the
he
chest
stabbed
plate.
through into this jump hut of Amaran.
but it was cracked and it not.
And then he fought some fuse.
Like 8
And Amaran
fuse,
came back
like totally tied him
at the
down.
end, and Kaladin was out of Stormlight. He had nothing left. And Rock came and, like, from a distance and sniped him with the arrow.
And Kaladin totally
Right in
ran
the
at a
Achilles
Stormlight.
heel.
Kaladin ran at a Stormlight as the 8 fuse totally were beating the crap out of him, knocking him to the ground, and that's when he noticed in the distance, like, a bunch of lights, like, blasting up into the sky, and that was essentially his team, Bridge 4.
Well, you remember that also.
Bridge 4.
Kaladin scared the horse
Bridge
off
boat.
away from Amaran
Yeah.
with the bow earlier in the battle.
and it fell to the
Bridge
ground.
4.
Came up. So Amaran was the polar opposite of Dalinar in that battle. He was not accepting of his own responsibility, and that's where we know. But it was cool to see that justice taken. It's funny that in the end, it wasn't even Kaladin who got that justice. Rock just iced him to save Kaladin.
Yeah.
And that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Battle, phenomenal. Kaladin, this fourth oath is going to cause us some problems, I think. What I want to know is, and I want to know what you guys think about, is anyone in Bridge 4 going to surpass Kaladin passing this oath, or is it Kaladin in the beginning of next book going to finally say the words that he's so hesitant to say?
I think
He
what
knows
the
them
last,
already, he just
I think
hasn't
what the
said
last oath is gonna be is I am okay, or I will continue fighting even when someone dies. I think that's the whole the fourth for him, and I don't know if it's the same
Even
for
if I
everyone.
have to kill someone I'm
No,
who's trying to
no,
protect.
not necessarily. Even if someone I'm protecting dies, I can continue going on. Because I think that's going to be his next oath, to be able to, that's what his next step is, to be able to say, even if I let someone down, I can continue saving people. Because he keeps falling into this, I'm a wretch when I can't save someone. So that's going to be his ideal that he's going to
Remember
say.
that fifth ideal of the Skybreakers? They give us a hint, and it's like, I am the law. Therefore, I'm not bound anymore by these garbage laws.
Well-
So their own perception of the law is how they can take it, and that's a good thing to have for them. For Windbreakers, it has to be something like what Josh is saying. It has to be something like, I will be able to protect and acknowledge that
Even when I can't protect,
even when I
like,
can't,
I can still keep
I
moving.
can still keep. Yeah, it has to be something like that.
Well, one thing
So-
that I was thinking about during this section, or maybe it was last section, I'm not sure exactly, but I thought it was very interesting how there was a point when we were reading the books, I think book 2, where the words became very important.
Yes.
Where Dalinar started speaking the words, where things started, different people started speaking
even
the words.
Dalinar here,
And we
in this book.
started hearing him speak the words. But I thought one thing that was very like point of view changing for me was when I started hearing the Parshendi speaking those same words.
Yeah.
And I started thinking of back to the discussion that we had in the last few episodes of, I mean, how do we know that these things are what we have thought them to be?
yeah.
You
It's
know?
about perception.
Exactly.
It is. And even Dalinar, he said those words, and then Stormfather's like, oh my god, these words are accepted. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know himself.
But then even people that we see as opposition are speaking the words, and they're being accepted. And I think that that's very interesting.
So,
that
Venli
Venli
is going to be a Radiant.
She
But
is. She is a
somehow,
radiant.
yeah.
She is.
I think that she will eventually come to the Dalinar
That's balanced.
side.
It's balanced
Yeah.
because Odium
But
figured
what if
out
they
how to
don't?
bond
Well, actually-
humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odium figured out how to bond humans. Therefore, it's only natural that Spren
Figure out how to
will
spend
figure out how to
punishment.
bond listeners.
Yeah.
Or singers, depending. And either way, the battle in the end is going to come down to something very different than what we think it is now.
But I'm also my main point of this line of thinking was just that I'm not 100% convinced yet that these things that we think are supernatural are so good, are the things that we should be looking towards, are what we think that
It's
they
why
are.
they realize that being a
Just
radiant,
because you say the word.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because it's all about perception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
and
know if
that's
we-
why they know now at the end the Skybreakers are going to the other side, and they're realizing like, oh, actually it doesn't matter. It's really
Yeah.
just about where you're aligned. So we have to talk wit before we finish out, and I
Yes,
guess
we
we will
do.
finish wit.
Let me
And-
just quickly get a one-word response from how the dream felt about Yasna kicking down Sabariel's doors with the tiara on her head. Just
I
sum
knew
that
it.
scene
Like,
up
as
in
soon
one
as
word.
the whole
Manny.
conversation with the whole like
Adolin being
king coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be Jensen. It's gonna be Jensen.
Adolin's like, hell
Sum
no, I
up-
don't want this shit.
Manny.
And then Shallan, good for her. She finally's like, hey,
Boys.
why haven't you ever considered exactly what you're saying?
Yeah.
They're like, I need somebody to do this and this and this and this.
So, Captain.
Manny, sum
what
up
was
that chapter in one word of Yasna kicking down the doors in Sabariel's
One
chamber.
word.
Queen.
Okay. That works.
What was your
Um,
word?
I thought he was going to say awesome, but that works.
I would say.
That works.
I would say boss ass bitch. That's
Boss-
really what I would say. Really.
With
But-
parentheses.
That's a good one
So
word.
it's one word.
Jerry,
one word.
boss ass
It's
got
one
one?
word. It's one really
We'll leave
strong
it for
word.
them.
We'll leave it for them.
So,
right.
first of all, I
Last-
thought. Oh,
wait.
go ahead. Go ahead.
The last. So which chapter corresponds directly with the last Brett bet
Yes!
that I have on record? It's a 2-part Brett bet that has to
What is
do
it?
directly with which chapter. Do you guys remember it?
Elholkar.
Yes. It
Yeah.
has to do with Elholkar.
My
Do
theory.
you guys remember it?
pumped
No,
as fuck.
tell me, dude. Let's
right.
do it.
The 2-part Brett bet was number 1. Will Elholkar's Spren bond with a character? Yes or
You were
no?
telling me about this, yeah.
Part 2 is Elholkar's Spren a cryptic? Yes or no? Both of which were directly answered, I think, in this
What?
last segment.
Agreed.
I don't know if they were
100%.
answered.
No,
I don't think they were
Well,
answered. I think they were
technically-
very strongly
technically-
hinted at.
I want to hear
Yeah,
Captain's.
yeah.
He says
Agreed.
this. I want to hear him what he says.
Technically, Brett, you're right. Technically, we don't have the full answer because it's strongly hinted that Wit bonds with the Spren, but it's not confirmed.
No.
However,
Wasn't
the
this bet
second
about whether
part of that-
Elholkar bonded
yeah.
a Spren? Not whether.
No,
And
no,
whether
this
it
was
was
a
a
different
cryptic
Brett
or
bet.
not.
Yeah, but not whether
Yeah.
No.
someone bonded with
No,
a
no,
No,
Spren.
this
Spren.
Brett
We had
bet-
a,
whether
we, no,
Elholkar's
time
bonded
out.
with
Let Dross finish, but we had a bet on Elholkar bonding. That was a different bet. We had a bet on whether the spread he was about to bond was this type or that type. Manny said ink. And then
it was
that
the
had a
two
double part, and it was would another character
bet on
bond
that?
his spread.
Yeah, we
sounds
said
so
it was
random.
This is two-
Three different
We said we're
bets.
gonna bet on
So
one.
let the captain talk.
I want to hear what the Captain has to say.
Correct.
I will argue
So-
this to death. I'm positive. I know.
I don't remember what I bet, so I'm
The
just,
first
I'm just
part,
smiling.
the first part of this Brett bet was: will Elholkar's Spren bond with another character? Those who
I
said
remember
yes,
saying yes.
3 of us got this correct.
Wait,
me, right?
Elholkar's. We did not.
Was it me?
no.
I remember saying yes.
Actually, I realized there's only 5 of us who bet in on this.
Yeah,
Josh
because Josh
left
left.
early.
Segment.
I bet
Josh
for him.
Josh
Oh.
left. Josh left, so he's not part of either one of these.
When
bets.
you're not
Why
in the
would you
show.
guys have bets on something so specific?
We were arguing about
It
it.
was a 2-part.
You were arguing on whether
Elholkar.
Elholkar's Spren randomly would bond with someone else.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were.
That
you
sounds
missed some
so
great. Hey,
random
Josh,
because
Sorry, you missed great combos.
When have Brett bets never been?
guys,
anyway, keep going. Keep going.
25
I
minutes.
want to hear
Alright.
the actual
yeah,
Alright.
yeah. This is it.
Part
this is
1.
the end.
Part 1. Will Elholkar's Spren bet with another character? Those who said yes were Jeff, Manny, and me. What? So the 3 of us got it. Those who said no were Ben and Brett.
Sure about that.
I am. That's what I wrote down.
The thing is,
and that's
you
what
say
will
this,
be in the record.
I don't think
However, there's a
Wit
2-parter.
bonded him. I think he rescued him.
Oh, he
There's a
offered him
two-parter.
truths, baby.
Yeah,
no,
but
no, no,
I don't think Wit is.
We
bonded him.
don't know the answer to this yet.
Go ahead.
Technically, but it's strongly hinted.
All right.
That
So
our team won.
we'll let this.
So-
we won't
Wit's not
close
gonna
it
become a
out.
Radiant though.
So
He's coming to radio,
this,
baby. He's
guys,
coming to
even
radio.
even more important. This second part of the bet was confirmed. So this one is
Okay, what's the
this
second
part
part?
of the
What's the
bet
second part?
is confirmed for sure. Is Elholkar's spren a cryptic?
cryptic.
Yes or no? Those who said yes were Brett, Jeff, and me. So we were correct. Those
Manny,
who
you got
said
half
no
and half, baby.
were Ben and Manny.
But you only have to drink on one half now. You both do. No, I guess yes.
But you have to drink the other half.
No, the other half is undetermined yet.
Oh, that's true.
We don't know if it'll bind with somebody else.
Oh, he's binding with
guys-
Wit. He's
Nah.
binding
I
with
think
Wit.
that-
Witt's gonna buy with it,
that
but
bet.
He's fine. If you
technically
would've
it's
stayed,
not
you'd know.
confirmed.
Guys, we're going to close on this, but how could he say, hey, don't worry about it, your old guy died. Just come with me, jump on my hand, and I could offer you all kinds of truths. And then this pattern goes on his hand, and he walks away, and I'm like, yes.
Wait,
No,
so you guys
I
really
think-
naturally just randomly
I think
bet
This was a
on
discussion that we all had. All of us were talking
without
about this.
anyone knowing that?
no.
No,
We
it
had
just,
this discussion,
I
Josh.
think
Josh wasn't here.
he said the
forgot.
words to
Yeah,
lure
he wasn't
him
in
in.
on
What?
this.
Yeah.
But that just seems like
what
such
Hey,
a
hey, hey,
random
hey.
bet without
We'll see.
knowing.
We'll
that
see.
it's-
That's why we
because
can't
that's
talk
exactly
about.
what happened in
you
the
know
book.
what?
What's
You know
the
what? You're
chances
right.
of
You're
that?
right. We can't say that he bonded it yet.
We're smart
However, how
The
can
second
you say?
part of that is
Was there a
confirmed.
what?
Yes.
actually
That
led you guys
spread
to
was
think
a
that there
cryptic
was?
for sure.
100%.
What actually led you
And-
guys to think that?
I don't
that would
remember.
happen.
I
And
don't remember. But
real quick, guys, before we
sounds
close out,
so
we're going to end
random.
right now because it doesn't matter. We can have this conversation post.
Yeah.
Josh, you had to take off early, so you don't remember this conversation, but we had a solid conversation
Yeah, we
on
had a
this.
good conversation
And
on
the thing that we have to say is we can't close out did he bond it or not. We need confirmation. However,
we can only close out the part that I won.
Yeah. However, I will say
I am
this.
not a
All right. I will say this though. We in the beginning of the next book, we'll have to find out because Wit is already a master of illusions without
Hey,
a spray.
call me by your name.
Interesting.
Who called that Brett bet?
All right, folks, have a good time. This was Lit Literature, and we appreciate you listening to us for
Cheers.
Cheers.
Forever.
fantastic.
Cheers,
Part 4.
Part
So-
5 and 4, 5, 300.
Cheers, and next we'll see you. We'll be doing our Brett bets.
And
Yowza.
we may do a follow-up episode because we have to wait like 2 years for the next book.
That's true.
Till we
Peace.
meet again.
we may have
Till we meet again.
Till we meet again.
I'm gonna read it again.
Why don't you
and we're
read
gonna
my
go
neighbor?
back. All right.
Awesome show, guys. Awesome show.
Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.